Brady Krause is going to kick it to start us off. Pretty good wind blowing. It's starting to die down, and it's expected to calm as the evening progresses. Here's the kick. It's headed toward the pylon, and it goes out of bounds inside the 1. That's going to be a flag, and a penalty on the kickoff will give Snider excellent field position out at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, just kind of snuck out right there at the 1. Had it taken a better bounce, it may have gotten into the end zone, but now Snider going to get a good field position here on this 5-yard penalty.
So the Panthers offense led by Jaywin Harris, a 5'10", 160-pound junior quarterback. It's his first year as the signal caller for the Panthers. But he does have some experience in the backfield with Jordan Davis, a senior running back at 5'8", 185 pounds, has rushed for 176 yards through the first 2 games. The ball is placed at the 35-yard line. Omari Buchanan, another back that we'll see plenty of, a 5'10", 170-pound senior. On the outside, they've got Brashawn Johnson and Shamar Reddick, with Owen Dodson, a big target at tight end. At 6'6", 210 pounds, he leads the Panthers with 62 yards receiving. Play action, roll to the left, a throw over the middle, and they've got Dodson out at the 45. He's across the 50 and into Luers territory at the 47-yard line. That's an 18-yard pickup, and that's typical Snider football. That little drag route on the play action, and the tight end was wide open.
Yeah, they like that little play action pass off the run game and hit the tight end on a nice little corner route there to open up with a big 18-yard play.
Snider starts in the pistol. They put 2 receivers to the wide side right. Tight end lines up to the left. And the handoff goes to Davis. Davis goes off left tackle and gets hit hard at the 45-yard line and driven the other way. Darian Carwell, the safety, came up to make the hit, getting some help from Mikhail Woodson. It's a gain of 2, second down and 8.
Yeah, nice play there on the outside by Bishop Luers, limiting that play to just a couple yards, setting up a 2nd and 8 now for Snider.
Ball on the left hash at the Bishop Luers 45-yard line. Snider lines up in the gun. Harris, single back over his left shoulder. 2 receivers to the right. Read option. They'll hand it off to Davis, and Davis puts the pad level low and just grinds for 3 yards down to the 42-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 5 to go for the Snider Panthers.
Yeah, they get it into that manageable area of the field. Now they're going to unbalance the formation here.
They're at the 42 of Bishop Luers. They need the 37 to get the first down. Big 3rd down play on the opening drive of the football game for Snider. From the left hash, trip receivers to the right, empty to the left. And they'll throw a screen, quick screen to the wide receiver. It's caught, got blocking in front. He's going to have the first down as he cuts to the sideline and almost breaks free, getting inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. That is a 13-yard gain, and they'll move the chains. Another Snider first down.
Yeah, it was actually a great catch because the throw actually was almost on the ground there. So pick up there by the wide receiver on their little bubble screen, and they had a hat on a hat, so they had Luers outnumbered.
Second catch of the year for the sophomore Kaysen Warfield. Nice run after the catch. Good blocking up in front by the outside wide receivers. So 1st and 10, ball on the right hash now from the 28. Play action, roll to the left. Harris looks to throw. He finds Dotson. Dotson the catch at the 24. Avoids one and rolls down close to the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8 yards. Nice little play, and again, looked very similar to the first play of the night.
Yeah, when they get their passing game going, they really like to run the play action type of passes, the ones that give the quarterback a high percentage throw. And when you got a kid that's 6'6", that's where I'm going with the football because he's got a pretty good catch radius.
Yeah, I mean, you line up that tight end at 6'6" against a 5'9" and 5'11" pair of linebackers, and you've got a big advantage for Dodson. Now on 2nd down and a short 3, we're going to have a timeout called by the Snider Panthers. It comes with 9:05 remaining in the opening quarter, still scoreless. Snider on the first possession of the game, just on the edge of the red zone. And with a timeout on the field, we'll take a break. You're listening to high school football being presented by Midwest Box Breaks on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Snider Panthers threatening on the first drive of the game. They started at their own 35, and they've advanced it to Luers 21. We're at a second down, a short 3 from the left hash. Hand off to the running back up the middle. This is Buchanan, and he'll just move the pile very close to the first down stick. In fact, I think that is a first down. At the 17-yard line, it's a gain of 4 on second down and 3. And from the red zone, Snider moving the ball well against this Bishop Luers defense.
Yeah, that time just a basic inside zone play. Got great push at the point of attack, and like you said, enough for the first down.
2 backs in the backfield. You've got both Buchanan and Davis lined up with quarterback Jaywin Harris from the left hash. 2 receivers to the right. And they will give it to Buchanan. He's hit as he tries to cut back and gets taken down for a short gain. A couple of yards there for Omari Buchanan to the 15-yard line. Good job that time of staying home by Bishop Luers and making the play to limit the damage done by Buchanan.
Yeah, that time they came with 2 backs on the same side of the formation, essentially give them a lead blocker. So it'll be interesting if they come back to that and let Harris carry it.
They slide Buchanan over to a wing to the right. Davis still in the backfield with Harris, and it will be the give to Davis, trying to sweep it to the right. The edge is closed, and Luers shuts the door on the sweep play. Good defense by Christian Breil, a senior linebacker. Played that perfectly and limited it to only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, and Snider trying to go a little tempo here to get this 3rd and 7 on this play here.
Just inside the 15. 3rd down, 7 to go. Ball is on the right hash with 2 receivers wide side to the right. 1 receiver to the left. 1 receiver lines up to the right. Single back in the backfield is Jordan Davis. 5 yards deep in the gun. Jaywin Harris waits to take the snap. Davis shifts to the right shoulder, and I think Snider had to burn another timeout with the play clock winding down. Another timeout called by the Snider Panthers. This one comes with 7:23 to play, and we are still scoreless here in the opening quarter. It is high school football presented by Midwest Box Breaks on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
With 7:23 remaining in the opening quarter, we're scoreless, but Snider with a 3rd down and 7 from the 14 of Bishop Luers. Ball is on the right hash, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and they will fake the handoff. Keeper for Harris. He spins off right tackle, and he's only going to get about 4 yards down to the 11-yard line. It's going to be 4th, and without question, Mang Tung is going to come into the game to try a field goal and give Snider points on this first possession. Tung is a veteran. He's got a great leg, and this one well within his range. It's going to be a 28-yarder from the right hash. Right-footed kicker. Sawyer Tippmann will be the snapper. The snap, the set, and the kick. It's away, plenty of distance, and it is good. Splits the uprights. 28 yards out for Mang Tung, and the Snider Panthers have taken a 3-0 lead on the opening possession of the football game. 6:39 to play. Quarter number 1. It's the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Snider opts to take points on the first drive of the football game. They were facing a 4th down and about 3 to go and decided to send out their skilled field goal kicker, Mang Tung, who connects from 28 yards out. And the Snider Panthers are leading at 3-0 over Bishop Luers with 6:39 on the clock here in the opening quarter.
Well, good drive for Snider there, and also a good job by Luers to force them to the field goal.
So Luers will receive this kick. Brandon Gaither is back deep, and the kick will go to the other deep man, and that is taken in the end zone. Well, not unusual for Tung to drill it into the end zone, as it was handled but about 2 yards deep. So it's going to come out to the 20-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Bishop Luers, led by sophomore quarterback Tommy Reichert, connecting on 50% of his passes so far this year, 143 total yards, a touchdown and a couple of picks. He's 6'2", 195 pounds. Brandon Gaither joins him in the backfield. He's a 5'7", 170-pound sophomore running back. Small and shifty, but they are big up front. We'll tell you how big here in just a moment. 1st and 10 from their own 20. First possession of the ball game for Bishop Luers with the Knights trailing at 3-0. Reichert steps up. We'll get under center. I formation. And they'll give to the tailback. This is Gaither looking for a hold behind the left side of the line, and there is nothing there. Good job of standing it up by the Snider Panthers at the line of scrimmage. And that actually about a half-yard loss for Gaither. It's going to be 2nd down and about 10.5.
Got a flag, I believe. Yep. Oh, sideline warning.
Yep, sideline warning called against the Snider Panthers.
The dreaded sideline warning for coaches.
So it is 2nd down and about 10.5 to go. Luers sets up with 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left, single back in the backfield, shotgun for Reichert. There's the snap. He'll drop back, look to throw, looks to the right, now slings it out here to the sideline, and he overshot his target, trying to get it to Rory Kelly. Kelly is a 5'11", 170-pound sophomore receiver, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Bishop Luers.
Yeah, he had him there early if he'd have let it fly, but for some reason he kind of bailed out of it, and the defensive end for Snider got up in his face, and that forced the high throw.
Tough situation for the sophomore quarterback. From just about his 20-yard line, it is 3rd down and 10. They'll go with the gun, single back, 3 receivers to the right. There's the snap, and it'll be a screen. Here comes the pressure, and what a hit by Snider. The catch by Javens, but right there to make the big-time hit was Hayden Maple, a 5'10", 164-pound junior defensive back. He read the play the whole way and takes him down for a loss back at the 17. It is now 4th down and 13 to go, and it's punt time for Bishop Luers.
Yeah, just a very nice play, good read. Now you got to think that Luers puts that in his back pocket and then comes back with a pump and go on the outside.
Jackson Hill to punt. There's the snap, and the left-footed kick is away, a low spiraling kick, and it is taken by Raines. He gets through the first level of defense. Across midfield, heading to the right side. He's to the to the Luers 40-yard line. That's about a 14-yard return, and a really nice job by Snider's Wade Raines, a 5'10", 155-pound senior on the return to split the first 2 defenders coming down in coverage and turn it into a nice return and great field position for Snider at the Bishop Luers 40, already leading at 3-0.
Yeah, he kind of went back as if he was catching a pass there because of the way he caught it. He kind of caught it in stride.
Over the shoulder.
Yeah.
From the right hash, 2 receivers bunched to the short side. 2 backs in the backfield with the quarterback, and they'll throw quick. Wide receiver screen, caught. And I believe that might be Raines. There is a penalty flag out about where he made the catch, and you could have a hold. There were 2 receivers bunched together. One of them may have caught it. The other one may have caught a Bishop Luers defender with a holding penalty, and I think that was the preliminary signal. A hold against the Snider Panthers. Well, that's costly after you get that great return, and then you give 10 yards back, so now you're going to face a 1st down and 20 with the ball back at midfield.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow on a quick screen. Like you said, the inside receiver probably got his hands a little bit too much outside the frame, and they'll call that every time.
You've got Reddick lining up wide to the left. Warfield wide to the right. And up the middle they go. Nice spin by Buchanan, bringing away from a tackle, and he takes it inside the 40 to the 39. He was wrapped at about the 45 and broke free to get 6 extra yards, turned it into an 11-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down, and, well, we'll call it 2nd and 10 and give him a 10-yard carry with the ball just inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, these Snider running backs, they always run hard, and Buchanan there got all of that back on just hard effort.
Ball on the right hash for a 2nd down and 10 from the 40. And a read option, and it will be a give to Buchanan. Off right tackle, and he's wrapped up and thrown down after a gain of only 2 to the 38-yard line. That may be Jaron Taylor He has dominated up front for Bishop Luers through the first 2 games. A 6'2", 265-pound senior. Guy's going to be playing some college ball next year.
Another flag down on the play.
Yeah, flag right about where the tackle was made. This could go either way. 3 officials huddling up to discuss it. Now our referee is going to tell us it's a dead ball personal foul against the Bishop Luers Knights. That is a 15-yard penalty and a first down for the Snider Panthers.
Yeah, you don't want to give them free downs, that's for sure.
Well, you put them behind the chains with that holding penalty, and they would have been facing a 2nd down and 10, but the personal foul is going to tack 15 on and take it all the way down to the 22-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Snider Panthers. Already leading at 3-0 with 4.5 minutes remaining in our first quarter. Ball on the right hash, shotgun snap. And the give to Jordan Davis. Davis follows the right side of the line. He gets hit, and there's a lot of bodies flying as Ale Taylor decided to throw Dotson to the deck. But Dotson didn't have the ball. He was trying to set a block. It was Davis with the run, and they'll sit him at the 16-yard line. So it's a nice 6-yard pickup for Jordan Davis, who has run for 176 yards on 31 carries so far this year.
You know, they get that, they like to run that power scheme with that, and that's what they've been doing here of late, and getting a really good push at the line of attack, and both Buchanan and Davis just run hard.
Snider leading it 3-0, 2nd down and 4, right hash, 2 receivers on the short side right, single back, and they will fake it and then throw a quick wide receiver screen, and it's right through the hands of Shamar Reddick. May have taken his eyes off the ball, ready to run before he made the catch. It's an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, that was a good enough throw to be caught. And like you said, he probably took his eyes off of it. Now coming back with a 3rd and 4. Got to think they may even go for it here with the way they're running the football.
3rd down, 4 to go from the 16-yard line of Bishop Luers. It's Brishon Johnson who lines up wide to the right. Wide to the left is Kason Warfield. They'll run a wing to the left side of the formation with the tight end lined up left. Shotgun snap, read option, give to the tailback, and the tailback is wrapped up for almost no gain. Taken down at the 16. It is no gain at all for Jordan Davis, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 4, and this is decision time, and the decision, I believe, has been made, and we're going to see Mang Tung try to kick another field goal. This one from just inside the right hash, and this one's going to be placed at about the 23, so it will be a 33-yard attempt. The snap, high, but it's down, and the kick, a low-line drive, and that's going to be partially blocked and roll harmlessly into the end zone. No good on the kick. And I think the whole thing was thrown off by the high snap. The holder got it down, but it threw off the timing, and Tung just hit a low liner that I think Luers may have got a hand on because it died and then just rolled into the end zone. So it comes out to the 20. 1st and 10 for Bishop Luers. They trail 3-0 to the Snider Panthers. Still 2:51 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, you're correct. It was a bad snap, and Holder did a great job of getting it down, but it threw off Tung's rhythm, and he just really had no choice.
So the Knights 1st and 10. Went 3 and out on their first possession. Reichert in the gun, single back over his left shoulder, and he'll drop the throw. Reichert looks over the middle, looks to the right. He's got a man out here on the near sideline, and he just missed him badly. Threw it with no chance for the receiver to make the catch. It's over his head, not out of bounds. Looked like he was trying to get it to Peter Brow, the junior tight end, who snuck out over here on the near sideline and had a lot of space, but just an inaccurate throw by Reichert. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 20. Left to right for Bishop Luers. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and a handoff to Gaither up the middle, and there's no running room at all. Snider smothers him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. And, we talked about the size up front for Bishop Luers. Nyante Williams is a 5'11", 325-pound junior at left tackle. Josh Morkin, 6 feet, 250. Junior at left guard. Zach Wall is 6'4", 320, a senior at center, appropriately named. Quentin Price is the right guard. He's 6'2", 275, grew 5 inches and 35 pounds since he was a sophomore. And Jonas Moya, the biggest of them, at right tackle. Here's a dump to the right flat. It's caught by the tight end, Charlie McBride, but he gets wrapped up and taken down for a gain of only a couple at about the 22. Moya, we talked about it at right tackle. He's getting some college offers. I know among them, Cincinnati has made an offer. But he also is a stud basketball player. We'll see him on the hardwood this winter. He's 6'8", 280 pounds, a transfer into Luers from La Lumiere.
Yeah, you can't coach 6'8".
So on 4th and long, it's a punt, and it's a high, very short kick. It's going to bounce at the 40, take a high hop, and then be downed at about the 42-yard line. So that kick only goes for about 20 yards with no return. They'll sit it actually at the 43. But again, great field position for the Panthers. Last time they got this kind of field position, they wasted it and ended up having a field goal partially blocked. So it's still a 3-0 game. Snider the lead. 1:21 remains in our opening quarter.
I don't know how they didn't block it. They had about 4 kids in the backfield, and that's what really disrupted the punt. See if Snider comes out and tries to throw one deep here.
Snider lines up from the right hash. Jaywin Harris, the junior quarterback, takes the snap. He'll give it to the running back, Jordan Davis. Breaks away from one and takes it inside the 40 at about the 39 before being stacked up after a gain of about 4 yards. 2nd down, 6 to go from just inside the 40-yard line, and the clock continues to run as it goes under 1 minute to play in quarter number 1.
When you talked to Kyle Lindsey in the pregame show, he said it's something, they've just had terrible field position as an offense and giving up great physical position on defense, and that's held true tonight thus far.
Ball centered between the hash marks. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Play action, roll out to the right. Harris throws. Far sideline. Receiver slipped. Tried to get it to Brashawn Johnson on a little curl toward the sideline down around the 20. And when Johnson came out of his break, he went down, and the ball sailed right past him, incomplete.
Yeah, almost like he was running a route that the quarterback thought he was going to hook back to it, and he kind of got on his heels, and next thing you know, he was on his backside.
So the clock stops, 37 seconds. It's 3rd down and 6 from the Bishop Luers 39-yard line. Snider right to left in the gun, and they will give it to the running back. Behind the left side of the line is Davis. Davis takes it down close to the 32, maybe even the 31, and that should be a 1st down for the Snider Panthers. That's a carry of about 8 yards, and it is a 1st down at the 32-yard line. Just great blocking by the right side of the line with Connor Bandor, a 6'5", 300-pound sophomore at right guard, and Crosby Daniels, a veteran up front for Snider at 6'3", 285, the senior right tackle.
Yeah, they got some big kids, too, here as we tick down here in the first quarter.
From the right hash, 1st and 10. The clock ticks down, 7 seconds and running at the end of the first quarter. They give it up the middle. Davis breaks away from the first, breaks away from another, getting inside the 25 and spinning his way inside the 20-yard line to about the 18 or 19-yard line. That's just a really good run by Jordan Davis and another good hole behind the right side of that Snider offensive line. That's going to be a 1st down for Snider at the 18-yard line, and we're going to shift ends because that's the end of the first quarter of play. After 1 here at Luers Field, it is Snider leading at 3-0 over the Bishop Luers Knights on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Snider leads it 3-0 here early second quarter. And on the first play from scrimmage here in the second quarter, Snider with a 6-yard gain by Jordan Davis behind the left side of the line. And it is 2nd down and 4. They've advanced it to about the 12. High snap, handled, play action. Nope, they'll give it to the running back. And this is Buchanan, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards. That's going to be a loss of a yard. That time some penetration right up the middle, and leading the way, Daniel Arnold, the 5'11", 205-pound senior linebacker, to help make the stop.
Yeah, this is where Snider has had stalled drives where they've given up a bad play and lost yardage. Let's see if they come back to the tight end here, which has been pretty good for them tonight to get the first down here.
Dodson will line up to the right side of the formation. 2 receivers wide to the left. Single back. 3rd down, 7. And they'll give it to the running back right up the middle, Davis. And he'll just plow down to about the 11. And that's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. And so it's going to be another field goal attempt for Snider. Kind of surprised they almost conceded that they were going to just play the drive for 3 points, leading at 3-0. Here in the first 2 minutes of our second quarter.
Especially when they've hit the tight end a couple of times, just basically in the flat area. And
fairly simple rollout pass. I mean, you just dump it 6-7 yards in front of you. So Mang Tung this time from 27 yards out. That time it's a little low, but the set is down. The kick is away. It's got the leg, and it is good for Mang Tung. This time from 27 yards, he extends Snider's lead to 6-0. But Bishop Luers fortunate that it's not worse than what it is. They're still within a score with 9:55 remaining in the second quarter. It's high school football presented by Midwest Box Breaks on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Now back to the Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Snider Panthers will kick it off, and Bishop Luers said to return it back deep. Rory Kelly along with Brandon Gaither. They are lined up at about their 4-yard line, and Tung has it on the tee from the right hash. The kick, a low-line drive, a chance to return this one. It's fielded inside the 15, up the middle of the field. Good return across the 25, out to the 30, and maybe even the 31-yard line. That time looked like Jackson Hill, the Luers punter, getting a chance to get the return as one of the up men. He ends up taking it to the 31-yard line. Good field position. Best of the night for the Bishop Luers Knights, who trail it 6-0.
Well, he made his decision and committed to it and took off and ran with it. That's the best thing for the young man to do in that situation.
Tommy Reichert, the sophomore quarterback. Big kid, 6'2", 195-pounder. He's got Gaither over his left shoulder in the backfield. Wide receiver splits each side. Give to Gaither. Here comes Snider, and the penetration breaks through. And down goes Gaither for a yard loss at the 30. That time you had Snider just busting right through, and it was Cole Baumgartner, a 6', 210-pounder that just got into the backfield. Yeah, Baumgartner's just a sophomore, but that was not a sophomore type play. He read it, busted through without hesitation, and took him down for a yard loss.
Yep. Good job by the young man. That's about the second time he's done that tonight as well.
Second down and 11 from their own 30-yard line. Reichert, high snap, handles it, gives it to Gaither, and again Gaither has no running room. The offensive line just getting dominated right now by Bishop Luers, and Snider takes down Gaither this time for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 11.
That Snider defensive line isn't big, but they're quick, and that in itself is a problem when you've got teams trying to, zone block them. They're just very quick into their gaps, and they do a good job. And then, of course, you've already pointed out Baumgartner's ability to find the gap open and go make the play, and that's just what their front five has done this far.
Yeah, got some fresh bodies in there in the defensive front for Snider, too. 8.5 minutes left, second quarter, facing 3rd and 11 from the 30. Drop back for Reichert. Here comes pressure, and they're going to take him down for a sack. Leading the way, it's Jamin Dean Portee, a 5'9", 220-pound junior defensive end who got into the backfield and took down Reichert for the sack back at the 23-yard line. That's a loss of 7, and it's going to be a punt situation for Bishop Luers.
Yeah, it looked like they ran a little stunt there between him and the tackle, but again, his quickness was key to that.
The snap and the kick. The left-footed boot is away. Low spiraling kick. Mishandled by Snider. The ball in the turf out of midfield. And now a scrum for it. And I think Snider might have gotten back on it. No signal from the officials yet. But it is Snider that has the football, and that is a major break. That was at the 48-yard line. It just laid on the turf. The pile all pushed to the ground, and the ball just laid there. And finally, someone from Snider got on it. So the Panthers avoid a big turnover, and they'll take over with great field position at their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10, leading at 6-0 with 7:48 remaining in the second. Two backs in the backfield, and they'll give it to Davis. Davis behind the right side of that line again, cuts it up inside the 50. He takes it to the 48-yard line, picking up 4 on first down. And right now, the battle of the trenches at the line of scrimmage just absolutely being dominated by Snider.
Yeah, the thing that's hurt them, though, is they just can't sustain it when they get down in there in that red zone, and that's when Luers has been able to make a couple plays that ultimately forces them into a field goal situation. So we'll see what happens on this drive.
Second down, long 6 at the Luers 48. And it'll be a quarterback run on a snap to Harris. He looks for room up the middle. There's nothing there. And Jaron Taylor, the 6'2", 265-pound senior defensive lineman for Luers, just came up and stuffed him. But that was Harris just hesitated, just never saw that hole develop, and it brings up 3rd down and long.
I don't know if it was a busted play or to be a quarterback draw type of play, but again, Luers does a good job and makes the play for no gain.
3rd down, 6 to go from the 48. They need the 42 to get the first down. Snider with a 6-0 lead, 6.5 minutes on the clock here in the second. Shotgun snap for Harris, and he'll give to the running back. It's Davis. He escapes one with a nice little cut, but then gets hit by the second man and goes down after only a 1-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5, and Snider sends the punt unit onto the field.
Yeah, again, I'm not quite understanding the, full-blown abandonment of the passing game, on these situation runs, unless you're trying to get it to a position to go for it.
Well, and you've thrown passes. You've had a couple wide receiver screens, and like I said, a couple of successful passes off to the tight end, cutting across the middle of the field. But 3rd and long, they have not thrown it. There's the snap. It's handled, and Tung's punt is away, end over end. It bounces at about the 30. Goes inside the 10, down to the 5, and it goes all the way into the end zone before anybody can chase it down for Snider. So that will be a 47-yard kick with no return, a net of 27. It comes out to the 20, 1st and 10 for Bishop Luers. Knights trailing it 6-0 with 5:35 remaining in the first half. And you kind of feel, Shannon, that if Luers can somehow break a play, get the lead, Snider's going to look at all the wasted opportunities here in the first half.
Yeah, they've had the best field position of the both teams here tonight, and they've just come away with 6 points in the end of it.
Tommy Reichert, a sophomore quarterback, will get under center. Double tight end set. And a give to the running back. Takes it through the hole. Nice run. Breaks through the initial line of defense, and Epperson will take it all the way out to about the 44-yard line. A gain of 24 yards by T.J. Epperson, the sophomore running back. And that time, no hesitation. Burst through the hole on the right side of the line and took it for big yardage.
Yeah, and it almost looks as they went to more of a true powerful set with 2 tight ends, and that's kind of what they've done to balance this front of Snider.
Now they go into the gun. Single back. And they will give again to Epperson. Again, a big hole up the middle. Epperson breaks away. The 35-30, 25 finally chased down near the 21-yard line. How about T.J. Epperson coming into the game and completely changing all of the momentum for the Bishop Luers Knights?
Well, and the other thing they've done is they've got into a traditional 2 tight end set that's balanced Snider's defensive front, which makes it a little bit better to block blocking-wise, and they've split 2 of them right up the middle.
35-yard run for Epperson in 2 plays. He has carried it 59 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from the Snider 21-yard line for Bishop Luers. They'll try it again, this time with Gaither, and Gaither gets taken down in the backfield. That time Snider broke in with Q Hunter, a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore defensive back, coming up in run support.
He's the one that made the play to stop it from going for a touchdown that last play.
It's a loss of 1 back at the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 11 Clock runs 4:10 on the clock here at Luers Field. Snider 6, Bishop Luers nothing, but the Knights with the football just outside the red zone. I formation under center, Reichert. They'll go play action, roll out to the left. Reichert to throw, intercepted at the 10. Raines with the pick, and he'll be thrown down at about the 17-yard line. But Reichert behind the intended target, tried to slip it. Looked like to a tight end. Might have been trying to find McBride, which is one of his favorite targets. But that time, the underthrow intercepted by Wade Raines. And Snider takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, he rolling to his left there, trying to throw back towards the middle of the field. And that should be a no-no there because you're off on your offhand. And it went behind, and Raines was able to slip underneath it. Big pick off for them, and Snider at the 20-yard line now.
Hand off to the running back. This is going to be Buchanan. There's no room on the right side of the line because Jaron Taylor had busted through, and that's going to go for no gain or maybe a yard. They might give him the 18, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 on the 1-yard pickup by Omari Buchanan.
Well, the nice thing is Luers has finally kind of flipped the field in terms of field position, so if they can keep them down here, then they may be able to pick up some field position for their next drive.
3:12. The clock is running. Late second quarter. Handoff, and it goes to Buchanan again. And again, Bishop Luers breaks through. And again, Jared Taylor, a man amongst boys right now. Back-to-back big-time plays by the defensive lineman for Bishop Luers. That will be a loss of about 3 on the play, back to the 16, maybe the 17, where it's going to be 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, the 6'2" big fella, 265, moves really well, and there you saw his agility by making that play, getting in the backfield. And again, Snider facing a 3rd and 12 here.
You've got to think if they fail here, Bishop Luers will quickly call a timeout with 2:20 and the clock continuing to run. 3rd down, 12 to go, and they'll give it to the back. It is Buchanan. He's wrapped up. Guess who? Jaron Taylor again makes the play up front for Bishop Luers. It's going to be 4th and long in a punting situation for Snider. With 2:15 on the clock, the quick timeout is taken by Bishop Luers. So with a timeout on the field, we will take a break.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
2 minutes, 15 seconds remains before halftime here at Luers Field. A 6-0 Snider lead over the Bishop Luers Knights. Mikhail Woodson will drop back at his own 35 to get the punt from Mang Tung. Tung standing at his 5-yard line to receive this snap. Strange formation for Snider. They're spread out all over the field. Here's the kick. It's going to bounce at the 48, take a big Snider roll, and almost go off of Woodson.
I think he said he did touch him. Yeah, he did. He said
They said it touched Woodson, and they're going to give the ball to Snider, where Snider downed it at the 32 because they say it deflected off Woodson. I thought it missed him. I thought he got out of the way. But the officials said it caught some part of Woodson, and they will give it to Snider at the Bishop Luers 32-yard line, and Snider's got 2:05 still to work with here at the end of the second quarter.
Well, again, I think there's a learning experience there. If you're not going to field the punt, you have got to get completely away from it and not give an official a tough call to make there, and he was pretty quick on it. He threw his beanbag down.
Jaywin Harris in the gun. 2 backs join him. And they'll go with a little play action. A screen off to the left. First man missed. Second man wrapped him up. No gain over on the far sideline. And whoever broke through that time is the first defender for Bishop Luers. Didn't make the play, but he completely disrupted the timing and allowed a teammate to come up and make the stop. It's a yard loss back at the 34. 2nd down, well, even about a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, I think that was Hill. Came up there and made the play. A nice play. He missed the tackle, but he did enough to disrupt the play.
From the left hash, 2 receivers, wide side of the right, and the handoff to Davis. He'll bounce it off left tackle, heading toward the far side. On the boundary side, he gets wrapped up and pulled down, and it looked like a face mask as he got taken down close to the first down stick. And they might get yardage on top of this because the flag has flown over on that far sideline. I thought they had a face mask against Luers, and let's see if the official will make that call. Flag on the play, minute 52 on the clock. And it is a dead ball personal foul called against Bishop Luers.
That's 2.
They didn't signal face mask, but I thought they were kind of hanging on to the face mask as he went across the boundary trying to get out of bounds. So now from the 22, you'll march this off. It will take it to the 11 where it's 1st and 10. And boy, this last couple of minutes of this first half has completely switched. We thought Luers was going to get a final opportunity, perhaps near midfield, to take over with the 2-minute offense. Instead, Snider gets a big break. And now they've got it 1st and 10 at the Luers 11. Jaywin Harris lines up in the gun for the left hash and will fake the handoff. He'll keep it, run left, and he gets taken down before he got the edge. And that time it is Ale Taylor, a 6'3", 215-pound senior. He is up 30 pounds from a year ago. Put on some body mass, and he got in and made the play. It's no gain, and the clock continues to run. 1:30 left.
Yeah, and remember, Snider only has a timeout left. But a nice play there by Taylor, showing his quickness as well.
Stays on the left hash, and they'll put a receiver, Brashawn Johnson, all alone on an island, wide to the right. Single receiver to the left. 2 tight ends. Single back, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper. Here's Harris up the middle, weaving his way to about the 10. Reaches for the 9, but they'll give him the 10-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9 to go. And the clock will continue to tick. We're down to 53 seconds.
Yeah, you're kind of surprised here that Snider isn't taking a timeout.
Let's see if they get aggressive. They have not been aggressive on 3rd downs.
Well, if I'm a betting man, I think they're going to run it and take the 3 if that's the verdict of it.
The clock now down to 32 seconds with 12 on the play clock. 2 receivers, wide to the right, 1 to the left, and a rollout to the right, and they do look to throw, and they do, and it's caught by Brashawn Johnson at the 5. He can't get away from the defender. Falls down just inside the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down, 3 to go, and Snider will use their timeout with 16 seconds.
That was a nice play there by Luers by keeping him short of the yard to gain.
So 4th down and about 2 to go, 2.5 to go. And Snider will take a timeout. And it does look like Mang Tung is in the huddle of players that is on the field, huddled over near the Snider sideline across the way from where we're at as we look out over Lafayette.
Odd angle here on this field goal, too, being on the right hash. As Coach Lindsay is getting a question on what happened on that last unsportsmanlike call. He was not too happy with it.
It will be another field goal try for Mang Tung. The ball will sit. We'll call it the 6 or the 11, which will make it a 21-yard field goal. Sharp angle from the right hash. There's the snap, and it goes right through the holder. And Mang Tung picks it up. He drops it. It's picked up by Luers, but they can't get away. They go down at about the 17 or 18-yard line. 11 seconds left, and again, Bishop Luers comes up with a stop, and Snider's lead is still just 6-0 with 11 seconds left in the half.
That was a complete weird possession. Went from a punt that hit the Bishop Luers player and Snider muffing the snap.
And it was a good snap.
Yeah.
We've seen high, we've seen low, and that one was perfect, and it went right through the hands of the holder, Max Johnson, the backup quarterback. Handoff up the middle. Epperson, he's got running room, but Snider with a line of defense among the defensive backs, comes up, meets him at about the 28, and pushes him backwards. And that will be the end of the first half of play. Well, Snider's dominated field position. They've made the breaks, and they've had multiple opportunities from the red zone. But here at halftime, Luers has to feel pretty good about only being down 6-0 to the Snider Panthers. Coming up at the half, we're going to review our first half here at Luers Field. And then after a halftime break, we also will be sending it back to the studio. Macy Gray's going to get us caught up on tonight's first night of conference play around many of the area conferences, including the Summit Athletic Conference and the Northeast 8. Here at Luers Field at halftime, it is 6-0. Snider leads it over the Bishop Luers Knights on the Midwest Box Breaks Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Now, back to the Hoopy Fieldhouse Halftime Show on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
And we are back at Luers Field on the south side of Fort Wayne as the sky darkens here at halftime. And Snider leading at 6-0 over the Bishop Luers Knights. It is time to get the second half adjustments with the coach, Shannon Griffith. First half, Bishop Luers just could not move the football. What did you see about Bishop Luers' offense that they may need to adjust to try to get something going here in the second half?
Well, that field position just kind of hurt them a lot there until they got into that double tight formation and was able to get some big runs. So I look for them to continue in that and use play action type of passing game and some boots to get him out of the pocket when need be. And if they can get some of that going and get a rhythm, then I think they've got a chance to move the ball in this Snider defense.
Both teams like to use the tight end when they go to that play action. With Owen Dotson, the 6'6 target for Snider, made a couple of catches early, but then Snider seemed to forget he was out there.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprising scenario there because that is their passing game of utilizing the play action type of passing and then using the tight end and whether it's a drag across the formation or like we saw that first couple series where he's running outcuts, corner routes. And, yeah, you're correct. They just kind of abandoned that and for no reason other than, like you said, kind of got stubborn with wanting to run the football.
And Charlie McBride can be a heck of a receiver. We've not seen much from the two receivers that really I thought were the best two on the field for Bishop Luers in that opener with Nate Javins. He has been very quiet tonight. And Charlie McBride, the tight end, they tried to get it to him once and threw a little behind him, and it was intercepted.
Yeah, that was the time they had it down there in the score zone, and that was a critical mistake on that one. But you're correct. I think if they can get some good enough field position, Coach Lindsay will try to get the ball in the hands of those kids that can go make a play. It's just that they just had horrible field position in that first half.
This is a very big possession to start the second half for the Bishop Luers Knights. They trail it 6-0. If they can pick up some momentum and perhaps even pick up the lead on this first drive of the second half, this would be huge in setting the tone for our second 24 minutes of football. Snider is going to kick it away. Mang Tung will set it on the tee at his own 40 on the right hash. And the Knights will send two players deep. Rory Kelly and Brandon Gaither will split at about the 5-yard line. Tung with plenty of leg to put this in the end zone. He kicked a low liner the last time, and Bishop Luers had a nice return by Jackson Hill. So a 6-0 Snider lead, and here's the kick to start our second half of play. That one high in the air. It's hanging, it's flying, and it just landed out by the Walmart. Touchback. Back to the 20 for the Bishop Luers Knights to start our second half.
Looks like they may have gone with a different quarterback this series.
It is going to be Knox Johnson, the 6'1", 160-pound sophomore. He had a quarterback battle with Tommy Reichert to earn the starting job. And through 2.5 games, Bishop Luers' offense has struggled to score just a single touchdown. They were shut out last week. They've been shut out in the first half here. So Kyle Lindsay decides, let's give Knox Johnson a try. Gets under center, gives to the tailback, runs it with Epperson behind the left side of the line out to about the 25. It's a 5-yard pickup. And I'll tell you the one thing about Epperson. He explodes through the hole. No hesitation whatsoever. and he just rumbled for 5 quick yards, 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, and again, they're staying in that formation that balance up that front. And, again, Epperson, like you said, has been explosive when he's gotten the football.
Ball on the left hash from the 25-yard line. Shotgun for Johnson. Single back, Epperson, and he'll get the handoff up the middle. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but look at the grind to get 4 yards out of a play that really offered nothing. Jakari Cole, the linebacker, came up and hit him, and he took Cole on about a 4-yard carry out to the 29-yard line, where it is 3rd down, a yard to go for Bishop Luers.
Yeah, this will be good for Luers here to keep the drive going, as they've had a few 3-and-outs in that first half. And again, they found some daylight here with Epperson there at the running back spot.
Now they'll bring McBride in as a fullback into the backfield in a power I formation on 3rd down and 1. Man in motion across is Javens, and they give to the fullback, McBride. Good hole up the middle. McBride a 1st down, rumbling across the 35 to the 37-yard line. He picks up 8 yards, and it's a 1st down for Bishop Luers.
Well, they were lucky there because the nose tackle got in the backfield pretty quick on a little stunt, and McBride was on the opposite side there, and that's what opened the hole for him to get that big gain.
Luers lines up. Knox Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, off the Bishop Luers bench, starting the 2nd half. He's in the gun with a single back. Epperson over his left shoulder, and Epperson gets the carry up the middle. He's got some momentum across the 40, all the way out to the 42-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain for Epperson. I'll tell you this. As quick as they're hitting the hole, Epperson with no hesitation. You've got a really big offensive line against a quick defensive front. If you hit the hole quick, you kind of negate that speed because you just got to get one good pop on the defensive line, and the hole is there.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed, too, is his quickness of getting in and out of the hole has made a difference in terms of getting those plays that are positive yardage.
Almost to the 43, 2nd down and 4. High snap handled, and the handoff to Epperson, and he gets tripped up as he gets out to the 45 after picking up 2. 3rd down and short coming up for the Bishop Luers Knights. Braylon Fertiel, the 6'1", 198-pound junior linebacker for Snider, came up to make the stop. And now 3rd down, 2 to go for Bishop Luers. Early 3rd quarter, 6-0 Snider with the lead.
Well, there's no question that Epperson has given them some juice here. Now he's out, and Gaither's back in there in the I set.
I formation again. Under center, Johnson. And they'll give this time to the tailback. It's Gaither, and he breaks away from a tackle near sideline. He's into Snider territory and finally chased out inside the 40 at the 39. And that will be 16 yards for Gaither. And it was all possible because he broke away from the first man just off left tackle and then won the sprint to the sideline.
Yeah, they ran that counter play, and the defensive end chased it. And like you said, he was the defender that Gaither broke the tackle on. Made a nice run there. Some of the Luers coaches are wanting a head-to-head contact there by the Snider Panther, but they don't get the call.
1st and 10. Good drive to start the 2nd half for the Bishop Luers Knights. Under center from the Snider 39. They'll give to Gaither. He bounces it off right tackle and then works his way to the 35. That'll be a 4-yard gain on 1st down by Brandon Gaither Jr., a 5'7", 170-pound sophomore running back, leading the Knights in rushing yards through the first 2 games. He'll come to the sideline. Epperson returns. 2nd down, 6 to go.
Well, if they can keep those 2 kids churning, you know they've made a difference here in this 2nd half drive. And the guys up front are getting it done as well.
Almost 4 minutes into our 3rd quarter. 6-0 Snider leads Luers with the opening possession of the 2nd half. They've advanced it to the Snider 35, 2nd down and 6. I formation. Power football. They'll give to the fullback. This is McBride, and McBride wrapped up after a gain of a couple. Not a lot there, and actually this is not McBride. It is going to be Braden Migrant, I believe. Senior running back, 5'9", 185-pounder for Bishop Luers. He'll come to the sideline. Knox Johnson off the Luers bench to start this 2nd half. Has the Knights 3rd down and 4. at the 33-yard line. Shotgun snap, single back, 3 receivers line up to the left. They'll give it to Epperson. He'll bounce outside. Epperson turns the edge down the sideline with some speed. He takes it close to the 20-yard line and another first down. Boy, he was quick around that corner.
Yes, he was. And I tell you, defensive end for Snider there, for Till, if he would have kept his leverage there, he'd have made the play. But because of the quicks of Epperson, he was just outran him.
Yeah, it gave him a little hesitation and froze for Teal, and just like that, he was past him, going around the edge. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line, and a bad snap. It's in the air, and it is caught by Snider, and a turnover on the fumble, and the recovery by the Panthers, Cole Baumgartner, and just like that, all the momentum just leaks out of the balloon for Bishop Luers. Snider takes over 1st and 10 after the fumble at the 20, where are they going to put it? The 23-yard line, 22-yard line.
That was a snap that went right through to the helmet. I mean, it hit him right in the noggin. And we've seen quite a bit of strange stuff tonight here at Luers Field, and unfortunately, it's happened against the Knights more so than anything.
So Snider starts 1st and 10, officially at their own 21-yard line. And it is Jaywin Harris, the junior quarterback for the Panthers. And they'll go play action, roll out, dump over the middle, a low throw, but going down and making a catch, Brashawn Johnson out at the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8, and a throw that was low and slightly behind Johnson, but a great adjustment to the football to make the catch.
Yeah, they come out firing now in the second half after they kind of abandoned that same play in the first. So maybe Coach Tippmann had a conversation there to get some things moving there in the passing game.
At the 29, it is 2nd down and 2. Snider sends Johnson wide to the left. Reddick wide to the right. Shotgun snap from the right hash, and they'll give it to the tailback, and he'll just power his way near the 30-yard line. That's a short gain. It was 2nd down and 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Big play here now for Bishop Luers, and as a matter of fact, Snider trying to keep the field position here at 5:33 left here in the third.
Luers trying to force a 3-and-out after the fumble. Gave it to the Snider Panthers. 5:25 clock runs, third quarter. Shotgun for Harris. One back in the backfield, and they'll go play action. Quick dump, and it's behind the intended target, incomplete. And it will bring up a 4th down and 1. And it looks like Snider is going to punt the football away. No hesitation. Snider's been conservative all night, and they will continue to do so, facing 4th down and 1 from their own 30-yard line.
That was a strange call there on a 3rd and 1, as well as they've been running it to come out throwing it there. But
they will spread the formation. There's a center and 2 guards lined up in the interior, and everybody else is out wide. And here's the kick by Tung. It bounces at the Luers 40, takes a Snider roll inside the 35, and will roll dead at the 33-yard line. That is a 37-yard kick. There's no return, and Bishop Luers gets the ball back with 5:06 remaining here in the third quarter. Snider a 6-0 lead.
Well, Luers did what they needed to do there. Got a 3-and-out. Aided by Snider in that regard. They're stopping them on 3rd and 1. Now if they can get themselves back rolling here like they did coming out, they still could take a lead on one drive.
Bishop Dwenger up on Wayne 46-0 at the half. Running clock at that one. Handoff up the middle. Epperson breaks away from one and then gets taken down with a good tackle down around the ankles by Wade Raines of Snider. That'll be a 4-yard gain for Epperson out to the 37.5-yard line. 2nd down, we'll call it 6 for the Bishop Luers Knights. Still a one-score game, 6-0 Snider lead.
You know, Dwenger got a big win a week ago. getting another big one here tonight, they're going to make some noise here in the conference this year.
Starting to find their offense. 2nd down and 6 from the 37.5. Handoff Epperson looks for a hole. Not much there, and he'll get taken down for a loss near the 35-yard line. That time he didn't burst through the hole. The hole didn't exist, and when he hesitated, Snider converged. A couple of linebackers making the stop for the Panthers, including Jakari Cole and Braylon Fertil.
Yeah, they read that play pretty good, but it was also aided by a bad snap, a high snap again that kind of threw off the timing, and that's why Epperson was a little slower on that one.
So it is 3rd down and long. About 7.5 to go from just outside the 35-yard line. Luers right to left. Shotgun snap. Knox Johnson drops, throws. Almost had it picked off, but it got right through the defender, and it's caught by McBride down the near sideline. Finally knocked out of bounds at the Snider 48. A 1st down. And a big play for Bishop Luers. I don't know if it was my eyes, but it looked like it went right through the Snider defender to get to McBride on that little out route.
Well, yeah, and it was kind of a throw where he was still backpedaling when he threw it like a fadeaway jump shot. And you're correct. It went right through the Snider defensive player.
1st and 10, Bishop Luers at the Snider 48. Shotgun from the left hash with a single receiver to the right, one receiver to the left. Handoff to Epperson. Again, they'll go with the power run, and Epperson hits the hole but gets taken down quickly by Cole Baumgartner after only a 1-yard gain to the 47.
Now that time again, Snider's defensive front, utilizing their quickness, got up the field and really kind of threw the timing off on that play, only getting them a couple yards.
Well, they just moved it 1 yard up, not the 47. They'll set the ball at the 46. So that's a gain of 2. It is 2nd down and 8. Last 3 minutes of our 3rd quarter. 6-0 Snider lead. Luers drops back. Johnson, pump fake. Now he's going to go for it. He's got a man wide open, and he overthrew him. Oh, the pump and go, and he got his man behind the defense and overshot him. He was trying to get it to Mikhail Woodson. And Snider bit. It worked perfectly, but the execution of completing the pass wasn't there for Bishop Luers. Now it's 3rd down and long.
Yeah, great call there by Coach Lindsay. And, again, you've got to make those plays when they present themselves because they rarely get another chance at it. And like we've said before, got to get some air underneath it.
Right. Just lay it out there and let him run to it because he had that whole side of the field to himself. 3rd down, almost 8 to go. Snider shows blitz. They're coming. And a rollout to Johnson. He'll throw late far sideline, high and incomplete. And it'll bring up a 4th and long and likely a Luers punt situation. From the Snider 46-yard line. 4th down and 8.
Now, they brought a blitz that time, and he flushed himself out of the pocket and really never had a chance to get out there to the receiver.
Cole Baumgartner, the sophomore linebacker, got in. Here's the snap, and the punt is away. High spiraling kick, and it's caught at about the 15-yard line. Nothing there on the return. A good high-hanging kick with great coverage by Bishop Luers. So Raines goes down after only about a yard return out to the 16-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Snider with 2:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and we're just whizzing right through this quarter with a full moon in the sky.
It's been some crazy things. It's a little shady up there. That was even a dangerous reception.
And there is a flag sitting out at the 26-yard line, and so the officials are going to talk. Both teams huddling over on their respective sidelines. And now the referee will tell us a dead ball, personal foul against Bishop Luers.
That's their 3rd.
And this will be 15 yards added on from the 16. So it gives Snider much better field position out at their 31-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 with 2:35 remaining. Quarter number 3, Snider 6, Bishop Luers nothing.
They've gotten three 15-yarders called on them tonight, and I don't think Coach Lindsey's buying what the referee's telling him on that, because he just kind of gave him the old shake of the head and gives them out of the back of their end zone, too.
Jaywin Harris, the junior quarterback for the Snider Panthers, brings the offense on the field. Jordan Davis, the senior running back, lines up over his shoulder. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right. And there's the snap. Give to Davis up the middle. Davis, with the pad level low, just plows right into the interior of the defense for Bishop Luers and runs right over the nose tackle. Takes it out to the 35. Gains about 4 yards. It'll be second down and a long 6.
Yeah, he got a little bit more than I thought he did initially, because I thought they had him stop pretty well. But again, Davis and Buchanan have always seemed to be falling forward in their running style, which is a big plus.
Second down and 6 from their own 35. Snider with a 6-0 lead. And on the snap, we've got whistles, flags, and a false start will be called against Snider. So after gaining 4 yards on first down, they have the 5-yard penalty. So it goes from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 11. And this will put the ball back at the 30-yard line. Haven't had a lot of penalties, but some of those personal fouls that have been called on Luers. But
yeah,
I think that's our first procedure.
Yeah, it is. And that's something we haven't seen a lot of this year, which is a huge improvement.
Second down, 11 from their own 30. They'll split 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, single back behind Harris, and a fake handoff. Harris with the keeper, but here comes pressure in the backfield. He got away from Jared Taylor, but he couldn't get away from the second man. He goes down for a loss. Luers all over that, and the play completely blown up by Jared Taylor, the 6'2", 265-pound senior defensive lineman.
Coach Tippmann just got a face mask called because the guy that threw it was on their boundary, and the official who was standing right there and the near sideline official both didn't even throw a flag.
I did not think he had the hand on the face mask.
I didn't either.
I'd have had it up around the shoulder.
But the call came from the official on the opposite boundary.
The head was facing our sideline. Now, he did kind of get whipped around, but I don't think it was a face mask, but that's the call we're going to get, a 5-yard face mask penalty. And the Bishop Luers side that had a better look at it, not at all happy with the call.
Well, and here's the thing, as like you said, Harris that kind of, was whipped around that way, and to only give him a 5-yarder.
Yeah, you're almost.
Well, they gave him more than a 5-yarder.
We're not sure enough. Wait a minute, they just marched off.
15. Because he did give a single hand, which is a 5, but they must have
he didn't say personal foul face mask. He just held the face mask, but they marked it off out to the 45-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Snider. Play action, roll to the left. They'll dump it off to the short man. That's the running back, Davis. He breaks away from a tackle down the far sideline. He's got first down yardage. He's inside the Bishop Luers 45, and they'll mark him out close to the 41 or 42-yard line.
Now Coach Tippmann's having a chat with the white hat about something, and not quite sure.
They'll put it at the 44-yard line, where I guess he stepped out over on that far sideline. So it's only an 11-yard gain, but it's still a first down for Snider. And the handoff up the middle. Here's Davis. Davis doesn't get touched for about 4 yards and finally goes down after gaining 6 to the 38-yard line. Second down, 4 to go. That time just good blocking right up the middle for the Snider Panthers offensive line, led by center Sawyer Tippmann. Tippmann, a center that wears number 1 because he earned that jersey. You don't see a lot of centers wearing number 1.
Well, you don't.
Second down, 4 to go. Ball on the left hash. Receiver splits each side. Hand off to the running back, Davis. Nice hole up the middle. Davis spins inside the 35. Wrangled down near the 33-yard line. That'll be a first down. About a 5 or 6 yard pickup by Jordan Davis. And they sit the ball at the 34-yard line. There's 10 seconds left in the quarter. And I think that's going to bring us to the end of the quarter. It's 1st and 10 for Snider at the 34-yard line, and the quarter is coming to an end. So we will head to the fourth quarter next. Nothing changes here in quarter number 3. We're still where we were at halftime. It is Snider 6, Bishop Luers nothing. The fourth quarter comes up next on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Now back to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
With Shannon Griffith, the coach here at Bishop Luers. I am Brett Rump. Macy Gray, our studio producer. After 3 quarters of play, the Snider Panthers leading it over the Bishop Luers Knights 6-0. And we're getting into an extended stretch now where it is 9 quarters of football that Bishop Luers has not scored a single point. They failed in the second half at Leo. They did not score against Andrean last week, and now they've gone 3 quarters tonight without a single point. So Snider has it with the 6-0 lead at the 34-yard line of Bishop Luers. Quarter number 4 ready to get underway here at Luers Field. Jaywin Harris lines up in the gun, single back, and on the snap, here's flags and whistles, and I think we're going to get a false start called against Snider. So another illegal procedure against the Panthers. 5-yard march off, second one on this drive, and that moves it back to the 39-yard line where it'll be first down and 15 to go.
Don't know what happened there, but the near official didn't like what was said on the lower sideline, I guess. And there's a lot of talking going on tonight.
Ball just inside the left hash. From the 39, shotgun snap for Harris, and he will give to the running back. And we have got flags and whistles stopping it, and another false start. And that's the official that you just pointed out, Shannon, the one that is right here on the Luers sideline. The side judge, he's the one that called it. And it's another 5 yards marched off against the Snider Panthers.
I didn't see anybody move there, so was it a formational thing? Because I didn't see any movement, but...
And there's still quite a bit of talking going on the sideline. The official that's on the near side, on the Luers sideline, turning and talking to a couple of the coaches. So now it's 1st and 20, and Snider's all the way back to the Luers 44. They'll fill up the backfield, 2 running backs, Davis and Buchanan, and they'll go play action, roll out, dump it off. It is caught by Davis, but he's hit almost immediately. He spins for a couple of yards to the 41. Good open field tackle by Bishop Luers, and Davis held to 3 yards. It will be second down and 17.
That was Hill again that came up and made that tackle from his safety position. So very nice play by that young man in space.
Jackson Hill, a 5'8", 160-pound senior safety for the Bishop Luers defense. Kind of out in center field, just reading the play, and that time he reacted well. Made a good open field tackle. Handoff up the middle. It is Buchanan. He's met before he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and a host of Knights is going to throw him down backwards, and let's see if they throw a flag on this. A lot of aggression with Bishop Luers. I don't see a flag, but Bishop Luers with the big defensive play, and
whoa,
they brought the ball back up.
What's going on? The ball was back here.
Yeah, should have been a loss on the play at about the 43, and they just spotted it up at the 40-yard line. Somehow they gave him a gain on that play. Crazy spot.
I don't know what's going on tonight. It's been really a crazy game and everything in between.
10.5 minutes left. Third down, 16 to go, and there's a flag.
Now,
and I wonder if his mouth guard wasn't in, because the Luers corner on that side was Jackson Hill, and he came up, pointed at the Snider wide receiver, got the official's attention, and then the official blew the play dead and threw the flag.
Yeah, I'm still back on that sack that it was all the way back here, and they moved it up to beyond where the ball was initially spotted.
Yeah, the forward progress might have been by a left guard, but it certainly wasn't the guy who had the football because he got hit in the backfield.
Wow.
But that 5-yard march off, now it's 3rd down and over 20 to go. Drop back, looking to throw, and it'll be a quarterback run, and he is hit. The ball comes loose. It's picked up by Luers, and then they fumble. Now the ball free at the Luers 40, and it's picked up by Snider.
And they're going to get a new set of downs.
It is recovered after Bishop Luers scooped up the ball. They were running, and they got stripped. First, it was Harris who got stripped as he took off running. The ball came out of the quarterback's hands, picked up by Luers, taking off on the return. They got stripped, and now the ball belongs to Snider, and it is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers, but they start at their own 40-yard line with 10:09 on the clock. I think that full moon is in full effect right now.
Well, this series has seen a face mask that was thought to be a 5-yard variety that was actually a 15.
That was marched off 15 yards.
And then we had that sack that was not a sack, I guess. A lot of penalties. And then a fumble that became a fumble, and Snider gets a new set of downs.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 40-yard line. It's on the left hash with a single receiver to the right, single receiver to the left, and a lone back in the backfield. Shotgun for Harris, and he will give it to Jordan Davis. He'll take it and bounce it to the left and get nothing.
No, now we got a penalty from back here in the back.
And you've got a Snider Panther player that had their helmet taken off.
That's Sawyer.
So they've got to leave. Yeah, that's Sawyer Tippmann, and he's not wearing 1. He's wearing 50. I wonder if there was any issue with him wearing number 1, because he earned the number 1 jersey, and he was listed on their roster originally. Is listed as number 1, but he's also listed as number 52. And tonight he's wearing number 52.
That's the 4th personal foul on Bishop Luers tonight. Dead ball.
And so from the 40, it's going to cross into Bishop Luers territory.
That may have been the ripping of the helmet off, and he shouldn't have to go out for one play.
Well, he's back on the field. I think the Snider coaches said, get back out there. That's a penalty, and with a penalty, you don't have to be out of play. So Tippmann is back on the field. So now it is 1st and 10 for Snider at the Bishop Luers 45. Snider leads at 6-0. We've got 9:50 to play in the football game. The snap and the give to the running back. Up the middle, Davis hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll drag Taylor for a yard or two. And here comes a flag.
This is getting out of hand now.
Now what do we have? This may be a late hit called against Snider. And might be a personal foul against the Panthers. Dead ball. Personal foul against Snider. And listen to the cheers coming from the Bishop Luers side.
Well, there's been 5 total, 4 and 1 against Snider. So it's been a little nuts in that category tonight.
So the biggest gains here at the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter have been the officials. They've been getting 15 yards a carry.
Yeah, we went from a pretty clean football game, and this series has seen a multitude of penalties called that have made this drive maybe one of the longest series of plays I've seen.
The leading rusher in the game is the umpire.
Yeah, he's probably worn out.
He just got 15 yards on that carry. In fact, he got 15 yards on a carry that it was only supposed to be 5. 2nd down and a long way to go. Play action, roll out to the right, and they'll dump it off to the tight end. Dotson hit immediately for a very minimal gain, if a gain at all. I think they give him a yard to about the 40. Well,
that was Hill.
There,
again.
that is the 43. Now they move it. So it's the 43-yard line on that dump to the tight end, Owen Dotson. And, yeah, Jackson Hill's been all over the field.
He has played a pretty darn good ball game from his safety position. And I tell you, for being only 5'8", he's not shy of putting his nose into the vial either.
3rd down And according to the scoreboard, it's 22 to go. And I'll trust them because I can't add that much. From the 43, blitz comes. They hand it to Davis. He bounces it to the right. A little bit of room, but he does get taken down after gaining about 6 yards to the Bishop Luers 48-yard line. And it will be 4th down and about 12 or 13 to go. Call it 4th and 13. So it is going to finally be a punting situation for the Snider Panthers.
The longest series I've been around in a long time. That was nuts.
A long series, time-consuming, that was a lot of nothing. There's the snap. One hops tongue, but he collects it and gets the kick away. And a pretty good kick. Takes a bounce, retrieved at the 10-yard line. There's a flag. Mikael Woodson will bring it out to about the 15-yard line, but now we'll see what the flag is right about the point where he started that return.
He's going to call a push in the back, but I don't think the Luers player ever touched the Snider defender.
The flag is sitting somewhere close to the 5-yard line, and this is going to pin Bishop Luers very deep. With 7:54 still on the clock in the 4th quarter, a 6-0 Snider lead over the Bishop Luers Knights. And it is a push in the back called against Bishop Luers.
I don't necessarily think that was your true push in the back, because I'm not even sure that Bishop Luers Knights young man even touched the Snider player. But another costly penalty on the special team phase.
So pinned deep inside their own 5, 1st and 10 for Bishop Luers. Max Johnson, who came on to take over this offense at halftime, or correction, it's Knox Johnson. And the handoff up the middle. Good power running by Epperson is dragging tacklers. And now you've got a hit in the backfield. And there's no call. And McBride putting up his hand saying, what has to happen to get a flag on the play? He was wiped out. He wasn't the ball carrier. He wasn't even in on the play. But it's a 1st down. That's a big run. That's an 11-yard carry out to the 15, 1st and 10 for Bishop Luers.
Gets them a little breathing room here, that's for sure. And I can understand why there's some grumbling in the Luers stands.
Luers left to right. Knox Johnson gets under center. I formation behind him with a double tight end set. Give to the tailback. Epperson, he's through the hole, but just got tripped up. That would have been a big breaker if he could have gotten away from the last man. But instead, he ends up picking up about 3 yards, where it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to pop out the other end there for a second.
Yeah, Wade Raines came up and filled the hole. If it got past Raines, there was a lot of running room.
Now, time is not a friend of Luers at this point. 6:40 left here in the 4th quarter.
Play clock down to 15 as Knox Johnson comes into the huddle, calls the play. Again, though, with 2 tight ends, under center is Johnson with a single back, and they give it to the tailback. Epperson breaks away from 1 and now moves the pile out to the 20 before being pushed back the other direction. It's a gain of about 2 on the play, maybe 3. They'll give him the 21-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down, a long 3 to go as we tick down to about 6 minutes left in this football game. A 6-0 Snider lead. Luers with the ball at their own. Well, they put it as a 22. 3rd down and 3. Again, Johnson testing the cardio. He's got to come all the way to the sideline, get the play, and then run all the way back out. He's on the left hash, the far hash. Single back, 3 receivers, wide side of the right, and they will give it up the middle. Epperson hit at the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get the 1st down. He's going to be held short at about the 23.5. It'll be 4th down and a long yard to go. Do you have to go for it here? 5:20 remaining. Clock is running. 6-0 Snider leads. Luers facing a 4th down and a yard.
Oh, he's going to go for it here. I was going to say no because you have your 3 timeouts left.
Or do you try to get him to jump?
Well, it may. The problem is the clock's not your friend.
Line up in the gun on this 4th and 1, and they're going to look to throw. They're going to go deep over the top. Got a man, and he dropped it in midfield. Right in his hands, he was open. And Javens dropped it right out of his hands, heading down the left sideline. Luers gambled on 4th down and a yard to go. And it looked like the gamble was going to pay off. Nate Javens on a fly route down the far sideline and a beautiful throw. That time Knox Johnson did get the air under it, and Javens dropped it.
Yeah, that you couldn't have thrown a better football there. And at the top of that, they got a matchup that they liked there. So all the factors were in their favor on 4th and 1, and just hate to see that.
Now Snider takes over, and the tough thing here, Panthers get the ball at about the 24-yard line, and they're already in field goal range for Mang Tung. 1st and 10. Give to the tailback. This is going to be Davis off right tackle, and he cuts it upfield at the numbers and dives close to the 18-yard line. So a gain of 6, maybe 7 on that play. 2nd down, long 3. Clock runs, 4.5 minutes left. Snider will take their time. Coming up after the game, you want to join us for our Kester's postgame show live at Pizza Hut. I'll be at the Pizza Hut at Southgate. Hope you stop by after the game. Enjoy some pizza. Here's the snap and the give to Davis. Same play, running off right tackle. That time he kind of tries to hurdle over the Bishop Luers defender that came up in run support and dives close to the 1st down. They will give him the 1st down, and that's a fresh set of downs for Snider. And now with 4:04 left, Snider's going to be able to burn about half that time off the clock.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that you're correct, and let the quarterback know to take every bit of the clock that he can here and drain it as much.
Jaywin Harris, the junior quarterback from the right hash with a single back. It's Davis, and they'll give it to Davis. Again, he'll run behind his right tackle. That time they take away the edge and pull him down after a short gain. Couple of yards there for Jordan Davis, the 5'8", 185-pound senior running back for Snider. Panthers trying to protect a 6-0 lead with 3:20 and the clock running here in the 4th quarter. We'll have all your scores of Area Summit Athletic Conference action tonight. We've had 2 of the fastest games, and they both involve Luers.
Yeah.
And we're going to get now whistles and a timeout's called by Snider. Well, they tried to burn as much time of the clock as they could, but they almost didn't get the play off. It was down to 2 seconds on the play clock, and Coach Tippmann decided he didn't want to risk the 5-yard penalty, so he takes a timeout with 2:57 remaining. We'll come back. It is the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Now back to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Of course, coming up tonight after the game, we've got our post-game scores on the Kester's post-game show live at Pizza Hut. I will be at the Southgate Pizza Hut just around the corner from Luers Field. We've got Josh Williams who will be filling in for Adam Lundy tonight as our official scoreboard operator. All right, here is the 2nd down and long play. It's another give to Davis, and again, they want to continue to run behind the right side of that offensive line. It's a short gain for Davis, and this time Luers will take the timeout to try to preserve clock. There's 2:48 remaining. It's a 6-0 Snider lead.
Nick Thompson and Isaac Zay at Toledo playing host to the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
Beautiful night for football here on week number 3 of the high school football season. Coming up tomorrow, week number 2. Well, at least to me, it's week 2. I think, they've got that week 0 stuff in college football. But to me, college football started last weekend. And, of course, the retirement of Lee Corso. What a way to go out for Coach Corso. Griff, he had a perfect day on his picks.
Yeah, he did.
He almost could say he rumped it last week with a perfect.
Well, he is changed the game in some respects as it became more of about entertainment, and he was right. And he did it for
he did it as
years.
a coach first.
Well, yeah, he was a little different there as well.
He was he wanted everybody to have a smile despite Indiana not being a real good football team when he was a coach. Here's Snider with the handoff up the middle, and it's a run that gets inside the 10, and it's going to be a 4th down and a timeout by Bishop Luers. So we'll go ahead and take another break. With 2:42 remaining, Snider with a 4th down. They're going to set up to kick a field goal and try to get a 2-score lead. A 6-0 Snider lead on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
With 2:42 remaining, Mang Tung is going to try to kick his 3rd field goal of the game and give Snider a 2-score lead. Panthers lead 6-0 over Bishop Luers. And this kick looks like it will be about a 27-yarder. It's a right-footed kick. Plenty of leg. It is good. And the Snider Panthers have opened up a 9-0 lead over Bishop Luers with 2:42 left. We'll take a quick timeout and come back at Luers Field. The Panthers 9-0 over the Knights on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Taking a look at other scores, the latest we have is that Heritage leads Woodland 35-14 with 11:07 remaining in that one. Of course, we'll have the full H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard coming up as part of the Kester's post-game show coming up next. Here's the kick. It's deep, and it will get into the end zone for a touchback. So Bishop Luers will start on their own 20, down 9-0 to the Snider Panthers. And for Bishop Luers, I think they've got to start thinking about next week. Down by 2 scores. They may not be able to make the comeback here, but you hate to go back-to-back weeks without points when you went the second half of your opener without scoring, because that would extend the streak to 10 straight quarters without a single point.
Yeah, it starts to become more of a mental thing as we've seen the one that probably would have resulted in a touchdown that was dropped on that 4th down play.
Well, and they did make the change at quarterback at halftime. Starter Tommy Reichert replaced by fellow sophomore Knox Johnson. And now 2:42 remaining in this one. 9-0 Snider. Luers the ball at their own 20. Shotgun for Johnson. Drops back. Will throw near sideline. Big cushion. The ball is caught by Rory Kelly. He'll take it up for as many yards as he can get before getting knocked out of bounds. And he is out to the 35-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain. Maybe even 16 to the 36.
Great throw as well. They're getting the ball out on the boundary. I thought he got out of bounds, but he must not have.
No, the clock will continue to run. We're at 2:30 and ticking. 4th quarter, 9-0. Snider leads. Shotgun for the right hash. Drop back for Johnson. Looks to the left, throws, and he overshot his intended target, Darian Carswell, over in the left flat. And it is 2nd down and 10, but the incomplete pass does stop the clock with 2:21 left.
That one kind of sailed on him there. It was pretty wide open, as you said. Snider's playing very loose in their secondary, so they're willing to give up anything underneath and rally to the ball.
Johnson comes to the sideline, gets the play, and then goes out just inside the right hash. Sets up in the gun. Epperson, the lone running back. 2 receivers split each side. There's the snap. Drop in the pocket. Looking to throw. Fires over the middle, and that's going to be intercepted. No, it's dropped right into the hands of Q Hunter, the Snider safety back in center field, because Johnson overshot his target. And Hunter with the drop of a sure interception.
Yeah, it hit him in the wrong place.
I always joke that's how you go from wide receiver to safety, is those type of plays.
Yeah, and then safety to the bench because you kept dropping them.
So it is 3rd down and 10 now for Luers with 2:16 to play. Knights need to get a first down. Shotgun for the left hash, drive back in the pocket. Johnson looks to throw, and he's going to go deep over the top. He's got his man Kelly, but he overshot him at the Snider 20.
Oh, my.
Again, got a receiver behind the defense, which is almost unfathomable with Snider playing a soft secondary, trying to keep everything in front of him, and somehow Rory Kelly just sprinted past the back line of Snider defenders and had a chance at a big play. But, again, you've got sophomore quarterbacks here for Bishop Luers, and they'll get better and they'll improve, and they'll complete some of those as they continue their careers. But right now, a couple of big incompletions has Luers down 9-0. 4th down and 10. They got to go for it from the right hash. 2 receivers split each side. Drop back for Johnson. It's a 4-man rush, and Johnson takes off on the run, and he's going to have to scoot out of bounds well before the first down. That, again, is the awareness of just not knowing how far he has to go. He comes to the near sideline where there's no sticks, but he went out of bounds a good 3 to 4 yards shy of a first down on the quarterback scramble. And it's going to turn the ball over on downs to the Snider Panthers with 2:05 to play. Snider leads it 9-0.
Yeah, you got to have the situational awareness there, knowing that it's 4th down, and you got to have an idea where those sticks are. Because when you take off like that, you cannot run to the boundary. You got to find it vertically up north and south, and that was just a critical error. Again, that, like you said, is youthfulness more than anything.
So Snider, 1st and 10. And Luers still with 1 timeout. But there's only 2:05 to play, and Snider leads by 2 scores. Shotgun for Jaywin Harris, and he'll give to the running back. And Davis is corralled in the backfield. That's a good play breaking in by Braden Migrant. Migrant, a senior linebacker, got into the backfield and took down Davis for a 1-yard loss, and this will be the final timeout of the game for Bishop Luers. So with 2 minutes exactly to play, a 9-0 Snider lead, it is timeout here at Luers Field on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Looking for your new go-to spot? You got to check out Backroads Distilling Company in Layotto, now open for lunch daily at 11 a.m. Enjoy tasty bites, handcrafted cocktails made with their own farm-to-bottle spirits, and a vibe that's classy but chill. Located on the grounds of Country Heritage Winery in Layotto, it's perfect for work meetups or weekend celebrations. Don't miss happy hour weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. And try their just-released Blackberry Whiskey, bursting with bold flavor. Backroads Distilling Company, off State Road 3 in Layotto.
We return to the action on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
2nd down and long for Snider. Give to Davis. He'll get right behind that right side of the Snider offensive line, and with the low pad level, take it to the 43, gaining a couple. It's going to be 3rd down and long, but now no way to stop the clock. We're down to 1:40 left. Snider leads it 9-0.
Yeah, I think they will all but be able to almost run it out.
Snider is going to avoid their first 0-3 start in school history. For Bishop Luers, they have not been 0-3 since Kyle Lindsay's first year as the full-time head coach. That came back in 2013.
And the one thing of it is that their defense tonight did play quite well in this ball game, and that's the frustrating thing.
Timeout on the field with 1:12 left, so Snider must have taken a timeout. So we've got another break in the action. We'll go ahead and take another break so we can get caught up on our spots. With 1:12 remaining, 9-0 Snider and the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com.
Now back to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Third down 10 for Snider, leading at 9-0 with just over a minute left, and they'll give again to Davis, and no running room on the right side. He'll be corralled for a loss of about 3 yards. Good job penetrating into the backfield for Bishop Luers, and it's 4th and long. And 56 seconds, clock running, play clock at 30, so they can work this down to 26 seconds. And I think Kurt Tippmann is going to just take a timeout at the 1 second mark because he's standing a couple of yards onto the field next to the official, and Snider not even getting in formation. So play clock down to 7, game clock at 31, and Snider is going to take a timeout. Coming up after the game, we will be giving you all the scores of area games. This one was a very quick game, but it's turned into an average one. We're getting more into the average territory because it's taken 15 minutes to play the last 2 minutes of this football game. But we've got another timeout on the field. This one comes with 26 seconds left. But we've got the Kester's Truck Sales post-game show live at Pizza Hut. That comes up right after our football game. We've got the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven high school football scoreboard. And tonight, Josh Williams is in for Adam Lundy as our official scoreboard operator. They line up on 4th and 12 to go for it. And a snap gets past the quarterback, and he has to go back and jump on it back at the 43-yard line. So it's a turnover on downs. They'll put it at the 44. Luers with 24 seconds. You know, if they can get a receiver behind the defense and get a quick score, this could be interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't the execution that I'm sure Coach Tippmann was wanting.
I think you go for it on 4th down to avoid that kind of mistake. I mean, you don't want to go in punt formation and have a bad snap to your punter or have a kick blocked. Right. But instead, they snap it right through the hands of quarterback Jaywin Harris on 4th down. And so Luers takes over at the 44 of Snider. 24 ticks left, a 9-0 Snider lead. In the gun, it is Knox Johnson. He'll take the snap, drop back, look to throw from the pocket. Now he avoids pressure. Drifting to his right, there's a flag. That might be a hold in the backfield. Johnson just throws it away as he ran out of real estate on the near sideline. He was being chased by Snider's Jamin Dean Portee, a 5'9", 220-pound defensive lineman. And now the penalty is going to be a hold against Bishop Luers. Well, you've got 2 penalties. They offset, so we'll replay first down. There's two penalties, 1 on each team. So 1st and 10 at the 44. But we do have only 17 seconds because they'll replay the down, but they don't put the time back on the clock. So 17 seconds remains. Snider leads it 9-0 over the Bishop Luers Knights. Back-to-back shutouts of Bishop Luers. Offensively, they have not scored a touchdown in 10 quarters. Not scored a point in 10 quarters. The lineup 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun for Knox Johnson. Deep drop, and he'll throw a little screen out here to McBride. He'll run down the sideline pretty well clear until he gets inside the 30. Well, right at the 30, they chase him out of bounds. The clock stops with 12 seconds. You almost have to throw a Hail Mary here because if you got any chance, you gotta score on this play or there's no chance at all.
Well, you go. Right. Get it in the end zone.
So it is 1st and 10 at the 30. Johnson gets the snap, drops, and he looks. And he's going to throw to a man out on the far side. That is going to be McBride once again. McBride corralled and goes down near the 20-yard line.
Oh, man.
And
It was not.
Yeah, did he twist his leg?
Well, the Snider defender came in awful low there and hit him at right in that knee area. It was not what I would say was a...
McBride down, and he is rolling in pain with 1 second on the clock. It's going to be a tough way for this one to end. He made the catch, heading out to the left flat, and everybody had dropped deep toward the end zone, so he had all kinds of space out there. And as he took off running, he tried to cut back toward the middle of the field, got hit low, and just twisted up like a pretzel. And it's not a good thing to see with McBride laying on the turf in pain, and now the training staff out to see him.
Yeah, well, it just wasn't the type of tackle that really needed that type of play in that situation, as the Snider player went really low and took out his knee there. And hopefully it's just a, more of a scare than actual injury for the young man. Yeah, he's ginger on it, but at least he's up.
Yeah, he's putting pretty much no weight on his leg. He's getting assistance by a couple of trainers who are going to get him to the near side. But they just go ahead and run the last second of time off the clock. So as he gets help to the sideline, the game comes to an end. The Snider Panthers avoid their first 0-3 start in school history, picking up a win against the Bishop Luers Knights. Snider now 1-0 in SAC play, and for Bishop Luers, they fall to 0-3 overall and 0-1 in the conference. Well, not a lot of scoring. In fact, we did not have a single touchdown tonight. 3 field goals by Mang Tung of Snider. And actually, he tried 5 of them and was successful on 3. One was partially blocked, and the other was a snap that went right through the holder's hands, and he never even had a kick. So for Tung, officially 3 for 4 in field goal tries. But Snider gave up a lot of points in the red zone where they just didn't finish off drives and had to settle for field goals. And I'm sure that's going to be something that Snider will address. But the Panthers do get the win behind the Snider defense pitching a shutout. And after giving up a ton of points, 29 to East Noble last week and giving up 38 to Warsaw in week 1, I think this was the type of defense that Kurt Tippmann wanted to see from his Snider football team, because he said in the preseason when we met with the media, Coach Tippmann said we can really fly to the football, and he felt like his defense would keep him in games and his offense would come along with a new quarterback. Well, not much offense tonight, but the defense was special. They shut down an offense that is struggling, but that's what you want out of your defense. And Snider wins it by a final of 9-0 here at Luers Field.
Podcasts by Federated Media.